Order. All rise. Yeah, this is case number 535 on the calendar in the matter of Ish versus Green. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated.
I somehow gather this case is more than about just a vacuum cleaner, but I'm going to stick to what I see in your complaint and your answer. You two gentlemen live in the same rooming house, is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
How long have you been living there?
I've been there just a little over a year.
And you, sir?
About a year and a half.
And according to your complaint, Mr. Ish, you loaned the defendant a vacuum cleaner that you had been using because you were doing some janitorial work around the house. Is that right? Like
well,
a
I picked up
handyman.
messes with it.
Part-time handyman, and you get paid for that.
Mm-hmm.
You made a loan to the defendant of the vacuum cleaner. He wouldn't return it.
Correct.
It's not true, Your Honor.
Just a minute. That's your claim.
Mm-hmm.
He says he found the vacuum cleaner.
Correct.
No.
Okay. So now, Mr. Ish, tell me, sir, where you got this treasured vacuum cleaner.
I bought it at a swap meet, Your Honor.
When did you buy it at a swap meet?
Oh, about last fall sometime, about October, November. I've got a receipt for it.
Let me see the receipt.
All right. Do you want to see anything else?
No, right now I want to see the receipt, Mr. Ish.
No, okay.
Who's Pat Campbell?
He's a salesman at the swap meet.
Mr. Green, where'd this vacuum cleaner come from?
It was left abandoned outside our building originally.
When was that, sir?
That was sometime in September or October of last year.
And what happened with it?
Well, it sat outside for a day or so. Then it was inside for a day. It sat there completely untouched. I'd left it alone because I thought it belonged to somebody. It looked like
Where
it was in good
was
shape.
it when it was inside the house?
It was in the common hallway down by the common restroom.
Okay, go ahead.
It sat there another day, and Mr. Ish came to my room, knocked on my door, asked me who the vacuum cleaner belonged to. At that time, I walked down the hall and I said, well, it's been out here this long. I'll show you who it belongs to. I picked it up myself, brought it back to my room, and I said, now it belongs to me.
Shh, shh, shh. Go ahead.
And at that point, he asked if it even worked. He didn't know if it even worked. So we plugged it in, checked it out, determined that it needed a belt.
Who determined it needed a belt?
We jointly determined that it needed a belt. It wasn't picking up properly.
So what happened?
Later on that day, Mr. Ish showed up back at my place with a belt to replace the broken one in the vacuum cleaner. He asked for the vacuum cleaner. I gave it to him so he could put the belt on. He took it upstairs, put the belt on, came downstairs, vacuumed a little bit on the rugs downstairs, and then brought it back to me and said, there we go. Now we have a new house vacuum cleaner. Nobody can bother me for my vacuum cleaner any longer. This is all yours now to, hand out to people as they come to it. And I said, Mr. Ish, the vacuum belongs to me. I said, I'd be glad to let anybody borrow it, but it is not a house vacuum cleaner. It's my vacuum cleaner now.
So let me understand you, Mr. Green. According to your story, it was Mr. Ish who came to your room and said, who does this vacuum belong to?
That's correct, Your Honor.
And you decided at that point that it belonged to you, because that's what you just said. You said,
Correct.
no, now it belongs to me.
Correct.
Well, I mean, at that point, if you had said to him, I don't know who it belongs to, he could have just as well said, it belongs to me, right?
Correct.
And he did go out and get the belt for the vacuum cleaner.
Yes, Your Honor.
So he invested in...
It had a dirty bag, too, Your Honor.
I want you to be quiet. You started out by lying to me, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
You know that. You know you started out by lying to me with this baloney.
Oh, no.
Oh, yes, you did. Oh, yes, you did.
No.
You want to know how I know you did, sir? You want to know how I know you did?
How do you know that?
I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell you. Because I've been around a long time.
Ah.
And when there's a bill that's this old, it's usually like this. And it's got a little schmutz on it, right? And it's been with other papers, right? And it's got a little stuff on it, right? It doesn't come out like you just pulled it out of a brand new book.
Well, then my manager's lying, too, then.
Listen to me, sir. I don't take statements from people that don't come here. Put it away. Good. If you lied, your manager can lie. All I'm telling you is...
We're all lying about this vacuum
All
cleaner.
I'm telling you is, so far, I believe that that's how the vacuum cleaner came into the house, but I disagree with the defendant that just because he says it's mine, makes it mine. So
Your Honor.
This is a crocker who shot John, so you can return this to him. Now, quiet. I don't like when people try to get one over on me because it makes me think that you think that I'm stupid.
No,
sir,
what I think that...
Yes, sir, on your best day, you're not as smart as I am on my worst day.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Are you both still living in the rooming house?
Yes, ma'am.
Not
now
for very long.
Just a... I want you to be quiet.
Okay.
And later today,
What day did you move out?
I notified him at the beginning of March, and on March 15th, I went up to the apartment, and he told me that I was to move out within half an hour, and if I was ever seen again on the property, that he'd kill me.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Ed Eash wants his vacuum cleaner back from Bruce Green. Bruce says it's not Ed's.
Now, the question is, what do we do with this vacuum cleaner? Because it honestly seems to me that if the vacuum cleaner was abandoned, Mr. Green, neither one of you had a paramount right to this machine. Neither one of you. He did invest in either a belt and a new bag or just the belt. You invested in Zippo, except...
Your Honor, I did purchase a bag for it.
He initially made the vacuum cleaner work because
Correct.
according to your statement to me, sir, according to your statement, the vacuum wasn't picking up. And it couldn't pick up without a belt, which Mr. Eash furnished.
Correct.
Right? Are you both still living in the rooming house?
Yes, ma'am.
Not
now
for
you,
very long.
Just a... I want you to be quiet.
Okay.
Now the rooming house has a vacuum cleaner because the court is going to prepare an order that says that if either of you move out, the vacuum cleaner stays. You don't own it, and you don't own it. You may use it, you may use it, and everybody else who lives there may use it.
Oh, that's nice.
You can't take it when you leave, and you can't take it when you leave. Do you understand?
Your Honor.
Perfect. That's all.
Why is that excuse? Step out.
Nobody claimed it. It sat there for 2 to 3 days without anybody coming up to claim property of it. So,
Well, I wish I'd have got my vacuum back, but I've been very good to this man, just like a brother to him. He's between classes and welfare when I put him to work for income on the residence, and he just commandeered my vacuum, just kept it and wouldn't return it.
And now the next case.
Parties on Hustad versus Story. Step forward, please.
20-year-old customer service rep Matt Hustad claims his former roommate, 20-year-old Kaleo Story, owes for non-payment of rent and a missing bike.
Mr. Hustad, the defendant, according to your papers, was a roommate of yours who you claim owes you money for rent and a bicycle.
That's correct, Your Honor.
So start at the beginning. When did he become your roommate?
He became my roommate at the beginning of 1998 in January. Actually, January 10th was the day.
How much rent was he supposed to pay?
Let's see, it was $200 a month, plus utilities, which would be the phone expense and groceries, all written in contract here. I have
Okay. And how long did he live there?
approximately 2 months, 2.5 months. 2.5 months exactly.
He moved in January 10th, according to you.
And
When
then
did he move out?
March 13th at 9:45 p.m. I gave him notice to leave after he was approached for the money.
So he lived there for 2 months.
Yes, approximately.
How much rent did he pay in the 2 months that he was there?
$150 cash, which I have a receipt for on the initial contract I wrote up.
So far, according to you, in the rent, he owes $250. Correct?
Yes, correct.
What else does he owe you for?
Well, he loaned my bike out in about March of last year to someone.
March of which year?
1997, Your Honor.
So a year ago.
Yes. I loaned him my bike a year ago.
Yes.
Okay, and he then loaned it to somebody else.
Yes.
And now the bike cannot be gotten hold of.
And did you know this, sir, when you started to live together in January of '98?
Yes, I had been asking him repeatedly. He showed good faith that he was going to try to retrieve the bike for me. He showed good faith, and which in fact he did not. He bailed out on it. Excuse me. He bailed out on it at the end and said, "Well, I can't do anything about it. I don't know how to get a hold of him."
How much rent did you pay?
When I first moved in, I paid the $150. Then I paid $50 again,
at the end of February. Actually, I moved in at the beginning of February. I paid February's rent, and at the beginning of March, I paid another $150.
You paid February's rent in its entirety?
Yes.
So according to you, you paid all of your rent?
Yes, I did, Your Honor.
What about March?
March, I paid $150 again, and I was supposed to pay $50 at the end of March.
Show me the receipt.
I never got a receipt, which is stupid on my part.
Let me see the receipt that...
Your Honor, I'd like to submit the rental agreement, the original signed.
I'd like to see it.
Here's the original. That basically outlines the original contract negotiated between the three of us. Kelly, my first witness here, was witness to him signing the contract as well as all the verbal and agreements throughout the living situation.
All right, well, this says that you paid $150 the second week in February.
Right.
That's when he paid his $150. That's virtually when I wrote the contract up and when he less the $150 that he had paid.
Which is when I moved in.
No, he moved in prior to that, weeks prior to that.
At the beginning of February.
Who else is a roommate?
Me.
Step up. Your name?
Kelly Hansen?
Miss Hanson, the three of you were living together in the
Yes,
apartment?
that's correct.
Other than being roommates, is there any other relationship between the two of you?
Matt's my boyfriend, and me and Cleo and Matt have been friends for about a year now, as well as our other witness,
Good
Meg.
friends.
Really good friends. Actually, we were good friends. Cleo moved in January. He lived there January, February, and part of March.
Which day in January?
I think it was the 10th, January 10th. He lived there. We all agreed to split everything equally, divided by
just want
3.
to know the date. Okay. What date did you move out?
I notified him at the beginning of March, and on March 15th, I went up to the apartment. He paged me to come over there, and he told me that I was to move out within half an hour, and if I was ever seen on the property
45
again,
minutes.
45 minutes.
Well,
And
why?
if I was ever seen on again on the property, that he'd kill me.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. Judy. Matt Hustad is suing former roommate Kaleo Story for rent and a borrowed bike. Kaleo says he didn't take the bike and he paid the rent.
Why did he tell you to move out?
He asked me to move out because I have no idea. I told him
Why
that
did
I
you tell
wanted
him to
move
move
He
out.
wasn't paying the money and I handed
He
him
didn't
No.
pay the money.
Actually, Your
repeatedly
Honor,
every week for loaning
the
money.
reason I told him at the beginning of the month that I wanted to move out because he was sitting there with his roommate smoking marijuana in the other room and doing nothing else with their time.
Yeah, so?
And I had gotten off, we had previously been involved in quite a few drugs, and I got off of everything, and when I was sitting in the room, in a smoke-filled room, it was just, it would get to me.
Mr. Story,
Yes, Your Honor.
that's an interesting story. But it doesn't sound logical to me, sir, that he would tell you to be out in 45 minutes unless he had been asking you for money that you owed him towards the expenses on the apartment
Right.
over a long period of time.
That was supposed to be paid by the end
And
of the
the
month.
bike.
And I was completely content with, the money was to be paid to him when I moved out at the end of the month.
No,
The
that's
30
not how it works, Your Honor.
Okay.
No, Mr.
Ever.
Story.
That was when it was in the contract,
not
and
how
I
it works.
Mr. Story,
didn't have it.
what kind of work were you doing?
Working at Starbucks?
He was not employed at this time, Your Honor.
For 3 months, he didn't have a job. We lent him money for laundry, for gas, for food,
Food,
utilities,
gas,
groceries. We have bills, everything that we lent him money for.
Receipts, everything.
He lived in my dorm. Actually, he's not even supposed to be living there. He's lived with 4 or 5 other people at Cal State
4 or
University
5
Long
other
Beach.
Shut up!
At Cal State University Long Beach, he pays no rent. He hadn't had a job. He lived at the dorm for 3 months without getting a job. I mean, he didn't have money to pay him. As friends, we lent him the money, up front because we thought
He
would
was
pay
my
him back.
best friend
We
for
were
a
we
long
were all
time.
good friends.
Very
And
good friends.
Finally,
okay.
we just got fed up. And we,
All right, now let's get to the bicycle. Tell me the story about the bicycle, Mr. Story.
Okay, at the previous apartment where I was living at, he brought his bicycle up there one day and locked it outside my front door. Gave me the combination to the lock, and one of our mutual friends came over one day, asked to borrow the bike. I told him that he could borrow the bike, but that he had to talk to Matt about it. He came up after that.
Just a second. Stop right there. He brought his bike to where you were staying, locked it up with a combination lock, right?
Yes, Your Honor.
And gave you the combination.
Yes, Your Honor.
Then a friend of yours came to visit and said, could I borrow the bike?
Yes, Your Honor.
And you said, it's okay with me, but you'll have to ask
Yes, Your
Mr.
Honor.
Husted.
That day.
Just a second.
Okay.
But after you told me you had to ask him, you gave him a combination to the lock. You gave him the combination to the lock.
No, I unlocked the bike outside and gave him the bike.
Gave this friend
Right.
the bike.
To borrow for the day. The bike was back that night and locked up, Your Honor. And I told him that he had to go to Matt after that and talk to him about using the bike.
Oh,
which
Your Honor, I
he
never
did.
saw the bike again. Never, ever saw the bike again.
Just a second. Mr. Story,
Yes, Your Honor.
Did your mother ever tell you the story about Pinocchio?
Mm-hmm.
Because what you tell me, sir, doesn't make sense logically.
That's right.
How's that?
Doesn't make sense logically. You gave him the bicycle at a time when you had no authority, according to you, to give him the bicycle. That was wrong.
I understand that.
That was wrong. And then you expect me to take a giant leap of faith and believe that he came back with the bicycle that night, locked it up, closed the lock, and then at some other time, somebody came and took the bike again.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
All right, what kind of bicycle was it?
It was a 1996 giant Rincon mountain bike, off-road bike.
Is that the kind of bicycle it was?
Yes, Your Honor, it was.
And who purchased this bike?
I did, Your Honor.
And how much did you pay for it?
About $429 2 years ago.
Mr. Story, it's my responsibility as the fact finder in a case to make a judgment as to who's telling the truth and who's not. And their case persuades me that you owe them a substantial amount of money. I believe that you paid them $150. He acknowledges that you paid $150. I believe that you paid him no other money. So you owe him minimally $250 in rent. I'm also giving him credit for $400 for the bike. That's $690. You're not supposed to take advantage of people, Mr. Story. And when you owe money, you're supposed to fess up and say, I owe it. So you're young enough to change your ways because, bottom line, the only thing that somebody has in their whole life is their reputation. That's the only thing that anybody can't take away from you. If you build up a bad reputation, that tends to follow you wherever you go. Judgment in this case is for the plaintiff in the amount of $690.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And on the next Judge Judy.
This is case number 478 on the calendar in the matter of Germani versus Wally. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated, ma'am. Have a seat, please.
Mr. Germani, you and the defendant were married. You are now divorced. How long were you married?
5 years?
Do you have children together?
Yes, ma'am.
How many children?
2.
Who do the children live with?
They live with me.
According to your complaint, after the divorce, your wife ran up a bill on your American Express card,
Yes, ma'am.
and then she went into what had been a joint account of yours,
It's actually what it was a home equity account.
and she withdrew $2,000
That's
from
correct.
that home equity, and there was $3,000 in the reserve fund that you could have drawn from.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. You don't deny that you ran up this bill on American Express?
No, I don't deny that I ran it up.
Okay.
I don't believe I owe him anything.
Okay. We'll get to it in a second.
Okay.
When were you divorced? What was the date of the divorce?
July 17th, 2000.
And when was the first charge on the American Express card?
November
November of 2000.
2000.
So it was clearly after the divorce?
Yes.
Okay. And how much did you charge on the American Express card?
$1,000.
How much?
$1,344.79.
Explain to me why you don't owe him that money.
Well, first of all, because I thought this was my account. He gave me the card in an envelope, and also he told me after I did it, he told me first of all, he said he was going to press charges. Then a couple of days later, he called me back and said, don't worry about it. I'm not going to press any charges.
Ms. Wally, you thought this was your account that you were charging things on that you wanted and that you planned to pay for.
Yes.
Is that right?
Right.
So why don't you pay for them?
Because he said, don't worry about it.
No, he didn't. He said,
Yes,
don't
he
worry,
did.
I'm not going to press charges. There's
He
a
said,
difference.
don't worry about it. I told him, I'll make the payments. He says, how much do you plan on paying? I said, I don't know, $30, $40 a week, a month.
Get out of here. You don't pay American Express that way, madam. You have to pay them the balance in full. All right, forget that. You owe them $1,344.79. I don't know where your head is. Now, you withdrew $2,000 from a home equity line of credit.
It's also my account. I have every right to it. If it's
Who
on
said so?
Who said so?
You have a
my
judge-
credit report.
No
the bank.
way, Miss Wally. Get your head together. You are divorced from him. You cannot obligate him for anything anymore. When you have a home equity line of credit, you have to pay that back. Who's supposed to pay it back? You or him?
I told him I was going to make payments on it because I needed a car to be able to go see my kids because they told me they were not a taxi service and that I should get a car in order to pay, in order to be able to see my kids. So I needed a car right away so I can go see my kids whenever I felt like it, which even after that, I wasn't able to go see my kids.
Miss
Thanks,
Wally,
Leanne.
Miss Wally, hey, do you pay child support?
No.
Why not?
We have joint custody with
He
the
lives-
children living primarily with the father, and no custody is to be paid as long as the custody remains joint. And the only
Oh, so
reason
you
why
gave
the
it-
custody
is that
is
what you're
joint,
Listen.
the only reason why the custody is joint was because I was afraid to fight him against this because he was always telling me, all you are is a poor Mexican wetback without an education, and the judge is not going to listen to you.
Miss Wally, listen to me. You don't sound like you're a victim to me. You sound very smart. If you accessed a home equity line of credit and took out money, and if you spent $1,300.44 on things. By the way, what did you buy on American Express?
If I may?
Yeah, let me see.
I have
I'm just curious, if you were in such dire need to have a car,
these are actual,
why
This
would you
was way
spend...
before I needed to have a
tickets
car.
that were signed.
Because he had let me use his car for a while until Leanne moved in and they needed the car to trade it in for a Durango.
Dresses, so you bought yourself clothes. Clarence, you bought makeup and stuff. Eyewear and eye exams, was that for you?
Yes, it was.
Who'd you buy shoes for?
He's wearing them.
He's wearing them. Mm-hmm. You bought men's shoes for your former husband?
Yeah.
Is that right?
actually the shoes I'm wearing I bought myself.
Did she buy you a pair of shoes?
I received shoes in Christmas, as a Christmas present for my children of December of 2000.
Okay, so, Miss Wally, once you are divorced, all of your financial obligations to the other are concluded. You cannot obligate him to do anything. If you used his American Express card and expected him to pay the bill, you are mistaken.
I didn't expect him to pay the
then
bill.
you have to pay the bill.
I expected to pay the bill myself.
Good, then you pay the bill. And as far as
the only
2000...
thing is, then he told me, don't worry about it. Don't worry about the payments or anything.
No, Miss Wally, you're not paying attention. If you said to him, I'll pay the American Express account $20 or $30 a month, he can't say to you that's okay, because American Express does not take their money at $20 or $30 a month. They're not a Visa or a MasterCard where you can pay so much and you owe them for the rest of your life. So you owe him this money. And if you said to him, if you gave him an alternative, that alternative was unsatisfactory because his credit would be in the toilet. As far as the home equity is concerned, the home equity is merely a line of credit. That is not money in the bank in a joint account. It's money that has to be returned. And just because the line of credit may have been taken out at a time when you were together doesn't mean that you are able to take advances on that money and expect him to pay for it.
I didn't expect him to pay for it.
So good. So what are we doing here? You owe him...
He's the one that brought me here.
Never received any money.
Because you told me it was okay. You told me...
Oh, please,
he
Mr.
told
Germani,
me.
Mr.
No.
Germani,
Yes,
Mr.
ma'am.
Germani, listen to me very carefully,
Yes,
sir.
ma'am.
I don't know whether she just doesn't get it or whether she just doesn't get it.
Mark Giamatti says ex-wife Isela Wally made charges on his credit card after their divorce. Isela says she had every right to use it.
She owes you $3,344.79.
I agree.
That's what she owes you. And if she doesn't get it, she doesn't get it. I would suggest you do the smart thing. If you haven't closed out all your accounts by now, publish notices. I suggest that you do that. She is angry. She will continue to be angry. I have no idea if she's working, why she's not paying child support if you have primary custody of the children.
We have joint
She should
custody.
be. No.
Yeah.
You may have joint legal custody, madam, but if primary physical custody resides in one parent, the other parent pays child support. That's it, and I don't care whether you wear a dress or a skirt or you wear pants. The other parent pays child support. You're lucky you're not paying child support. Don't take further advantage of the situation. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
The only reason why we're here is because Leanne is the one who wanted to proceed with this.
Actually, the woman in my life has opened my eyes to the fact that this will continue to happen unless I do something about it.
I shouldn't have had to pay this money because he told me not to worry about it.
Get a lawyer when you get divorced.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Castillo versus Garcia. Step forward, please.
24-year-old cook Stephanie Castile is suing her former roommate, 23-year-old nursing assistant Angie Garcia, for an assault and for the return of property. Angie is countersuing for unpaid rent, utility bills, and damage to her property.
Miss Castile, is this your daughter?
Yes, ma'am.
She necessary to be here today?
She witnessed the defendant attacking me.
Would you take her outside, please?
Sure.
Thank you. Come on. All right, Ms. Castile, according to your complaint, you moved in with your child to the defendant's home. Defendant also had children. You lived there for a while, and there came a time, an evening, when she was supposed to babysit. You wanted to go out. You went to sleep. She went out. You missed your party. There was an altercation when she came home, and you claim she attacked you and assaulted you.
Yes, ma'am.
In addition, you say that she has some property that belongs to you from a car of yours that was repossessed. Ms. Garcia says that you were the aggressor in this altercation that took place over the babysitting, that she doesn't have any of your property, and she is counterclaiming for back rent, for damage that you allegedly did to her property, and for things that you took from her home when you left.
Yes.
When did you move in with her, Ms. Castile?
It was in January of 2000.
What was the rent arrangement that you had?
The rent arrangement was to split the house payment, and we each had to pay $330.
And split other household expenses.
Utilities, yes.
Now tell me about this assault. When did it take place?
On May 30th of 2001.
What was the babysitting arrangement?
I was going out that night. She wasn't going to babysit for me, but I had plans to go to a live boxing match. And
She was not going to babysit for you?
no, I had another babysitter arranged. I went to lay down and take a nap. When I woke up, she was gone, and her kids were there.
What time did she come home?
2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning.
And what happened when she came home?
I asked her why she left her children there while I was sleeping. She was really drunk and really defensive and saying, if I didn't like it, oh well, too bad. Next thing I knew, she was on top of me, choking me. She had her knees up over my arms. And she grabbed my hair, was punching me in the face. I have some pictures.
I'd like to see the pictures, please.
When I tried to push her off me, she bit my thumb, which the thumb picture didn't turn out. And she also bit my back.
Okay, what happened next?
She couldn't find the phone, so she ran to the neighbor's house to call 911 or have them call it. Finally, the police came, and I got the police report.
I see it, please.
But at the time, the police didn't take a police report. They didn't even take our names. So the next morning, I went to the police station, and that's when I got that police report. And I also had to make a report against the police for, I guess, not taking a report because they didn't even take our names. So because I had to move out, I had to use my car payment money to move out. And the bank came to get the car, and a letter was sent to our address that was stating where my belongings that were inside the car were going to be mailed. And the belongings were mailed to my boss's house, and she showed up on that day. And
How do you know that?
He told me that.
Where is he?
He wouldn't come.
You can't tell me what he said because that's hearsay. Now tell me your version, Ms. Garcia, about the events
Okay.
of May 30th.
We were both supposed to go out together, and I had a sitter for our children. Well, she called and said that she couldn't do it anymore, so she was sleeping on the couch taking a
Who
little nap.
called and said they couldn't do it anymore?
My babysitter, my friend Krista. She was going to babysit for both of our children, and she called and said she couldn't do it. I still wanted to go out. As a parent, she didn't want to go, so I put my children and hers to bed, and I went out. I got a call on my cell phone.
Where did you go?
I went to the bar. I got a call on my cell phone after the bar, about 1. And she
About
had,
1 o'clock in the morning?
and she had left a message saying, I don't appreciate you leaving me with your kids, just going off on this message. So I went home. And she was mad about it, freaking out. What? You know, you knew I wanted to go out too, blah, blah, blah. So I'm like, well, I'm sorry, next time you can go out. Well, she went upstairs. She was still rambling upstairs. Well, you need to pay me for babysitting your kids and blah, blah, blah. It's like, whatever.
Just a minute, so she went upstairs?
She went upstairs, yes.
And where did you go?
And I was downstairs, and she was yelling at me, you need to pay me for babysitting your kids. And I went upstairs, and I said, what are you...
So then you went upstairs?
I went upstairs, yes. And I said, what are you talking about? I babysit your kid all the time, you know? We started fighting. We got on the bed. She kicked me. I flipped over the
But
bed.
you said, no, we passed that over. She went into her room.
No, we started fighting in the hall. And
Okay.
it led right, which is, the door was right here. It's just a little
What do you
tiny
mean
hall.
you started fighting? How did that start?
She's like right in my face, you know, yelling at me for going out. And I had apologized several times already, you know, saying,
Okay.
fine, you can go out next time. I'll watch your kid. I said, it's not like you haven't left me.
I heard that already.
Yes, so then we started fighting.
Started fighting is a conclusion. So far, we're just at the verbal end of it, Ms. Garcia.
Like, okay, we're face to face, yelling at
Yes.
each other. Then pushing starts, okay? So then
No,
you
who
start
started
fighting.
the pushing?
I'm not sure. Maybe me, maybe her, maybe both. I had been drinking, but she was not nice like she's trying to say she was.
I don't think she was nice at all. But I think that you had been out and you had been drinking.
Yeah, and she was mad because she didn't go with me.
Okay, so you pushed her.
So we started fighting, yes.
No, you pushed her.
No, we were face to face, and I'm not saying I pushed her first because I don't know who pushed who first.
She says that you struck her first.
No, I didn't. No.
How do you know that if you don't remember?
Well.
What happened next?
And then after the fight, the police were called. They said, well, you'll both go to jail. Okay, so we didn't want to press charges. So we both stayed in the house together that night. So I woke up the next morning, and she had majority of her things on the porch. Well, I noticed she was taking my things also. I said, no, get out. You're not going to be taking my things too. So I locked her out. So then she called the police again, and then they came over and assisted or stood there with us while she got the rest of her things.
But you claimed that sometime later she came back and she took things that belonged to you, and she also vandalized your property. When was that?
I went out of town, and I got a call from my husband saying that the house, the door was wide open, it had been broken into. The neighbors, I talked to my neighbors, they said
You can't tell me what anybody said to you,
Well,
Ms.
I have the
Garcia.
police report right here.
I'll take a
from
look at the police report.
The witness said
I'll
that
take a
he's
look
seen
at the,
her.
I'll take a look at the police report. So you advised the police that an unknown person had broken into your house?
Yes, I did.
Okay. I want to hear what money you say she owes you for rent.
Okay, $560. Then
For what months?
May and June.
You don't get any money for June. Did you pay May's rent?
Yes, I did.
How much did you pay
Because I
in
moved
May?
out of the last day of May.
How much did you pay in May?
$260 probably. I don't know. I don't have a receipt. I always just, you tell me.
I always imagined my wedding day as the happiest day of my life. I had the perfect dress, the perfect venue, and even the perfect playlist. But there was one thing I couldn't control: my parents. They didn't show up. Not a call, not a text, nothing. It wasn't that they were out of town or caught up with work. No. It was something far more frustrating. They had their reasons, or at least that's what they told themselves. I won't lie, I was crushed. Watching everyone I loved celebrate, while the two people who brought me into this world weren't there, was heart-wrenching. For weeks, I replayed that day in my head. I thought maybe they had a good reason. Maybe they were overwhelmed, or something had come up last minute. But when I reached out, all I got were vague apologies and excuses that felt hollow. They didn't acknowledge how hurtful it was. They didn't try to make it right. Time passed. Life moved on. I built my marriage, learned to be happy, learned to forgive, but not forget. Deep down, I knew there had to be some kind of balance. If they could disregard my most important day, could I disregard theirs? Their anniversary came around a year later. They expected me to show up, smiling, handing over flowers, saying, "Happy anniversary, Mom and Dad." But I couldn't. Not without feeling bitter. Not without remembering how they made me feel on the most important day of my life. So, I stayed home. I didn't call. I didn't send a card. I let the silence speak for me. And when my cousin texted asking why I wasn't there, I simply said, "I guess some lessons take time to learn." When they realized I didn't come, the texts started pouring in. "We don't understand why you're punishing us. We just wanted to celebrate. We're your parents." But the truth is, being a parent doesn't give you a free pass to hurt your child. Being a child doesn't give you the responsibility to erase your own pain. It wasn't about revenge. It was about boundaries. It was about showing that respect works both ways. I wasn't trying to make them suffer. I was trying to show that what they did mattered. That absence leaves a mark. Eventually, they reached out. And yes, the conversation was uncomfortable. There were tears. There were confessions. There were admissions that maybe, just maybe, they had made a mistake. But the real lesson? Life isn't about keeping score. It's about standing up for yourself, even when it's hard. Skipping their anniversary didn't erase love. It didn't end